Le doy en a mí.
¿Ya vamos a usar este diapositivas?
Sí, ya tiene todo preparado. ¿Podemos pasar?
Sí, sí, no tenemos...
Venga.
Ya que lo llamas,
Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon to your house, this institution, UCH University. Okay, like they say in Spanish, tu casa es mi casa. Okay, good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Mr. John Romejo. I'm going to be your master of ceremonies today. I feel more than happy to open this, our International Language Teaching Conference Crossing Cultures 2016. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone in this hall for allocating time in their busy schedule to attend this conference. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And all those involved in cooperating and organizing this conference, thank you very much for making it possible. We would like to extend a special thank you to our generous sponsors, Lutesa, Pearson, and Lancome. And to honor of having as our special guest, Cambridge English Language Center. It's my great pleasure to welcome to all to this wonderful event, our International Language Teaching Conference, Crossing Cultures 2016. Universidad de Ciencias y Humanidades, UCH, provides an important opportunity to improve the way how we can work together, creating a better learning and teaching language atmosphere through productive and insightful expositions, along with workshops and courses based on cutting-edge education techniques to move according to the international standards. We have a very exciting program planned for you over these current days. I hope you have the chance to attend to these remarkable professional presentations. Now, with much honor, I would like to introduce to our first lecturer, Ms. Isabel Tapia. Ms. Isabel Tapia supports operations in Peru for different services offered by Cambridge English Assessment as senior consultant. She has worked as teacher, as coordinator, and manager in various institutions in educational and cultural sectors. As cultural director of Britannico, she promoted British culture as an agent to discover the language. As center exam manager to Cambridge English examinations, she built an ambition project of English language learning using BULTAS, or BULTAS, as the exit exam. She holds a BA in education, a diploma in project and quality management by the Quality Institute of the Pontificia Universidad Católica del Perú. She's certified project manager, PMP, by PMI, Project Management Institute, and she holds an MBA, by Universidad de Lima, Peru, and another MBA by Universidad Autónoma de Barcelona. So, join me in welcoming from Cambridge English Language Assessment, Ms. Isabel Tapia.
Hi, thank you very much for inviting me. Many thanks to Universidad de Ciencias y Humanidades. Many thanks to Mr. Carlos Llanos. Many thanks to John. He's been a wonderful welcomer, a wonderful masters of ceremony. And I'm going to start my presentation. Again, pointing out my name, Isabel. If you need anything from me, you can call me. We're going to talk about developing awareness of the assessment of listening. And you will wonder why assessment, because Cambridge English does assessment of English language. I want to point out that the University of Cambridge also has another unit of business. Perhaps you have heard of Cambridge University Press? Yes?
Yeah.
I do not work for them. So if you want something about books, you have to go to SBS, go to CUP, they know about the books. What I know about is about assessment. So the exams, key, preliminary, first, advanced, proficiency, yes? Yes? Perhaps you know them by the old names, CAT, PET, FCE, yes? Sounds better to you?
Yes.
All right, great. This presentation is going to be divided into 3 sections. First section, I'm going to talk a bit more about assessment. Second section, I'm going to talk in general about assessment. And in the third section, I'm going to focus on listening. So for the listening part, I will need you to work in pairs. So if you have a friend, stay with your friend. If you came alone, please group to someone, okay? Group to someone now and introduce yourself. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that. Don't be alone. Introduce to someone. Please, go ahead. Yes? If you're alone, please group with someone. Yes? Hi, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, everyone has a friend? Yes? All right. Great. Right. So, what is Cambridge English? What is Cambridge English? Cambridge English is, as you can see, let me see if I can. It's part of University of Cambridge, as I told you, but it's also part of Cambridge Assessment. So Cambridge English is part of Cambridge Assessment. And in Cambridge Assessment, we have a group of international examination boards. And this is us, Cambridge English Language Assessment. So we are part of this International Board of Examinations. So what we do is we bring to the world very high quality examinations. My guess is that more than 8 million exams per year, putting all the exams together. So as I said, we're part of Cambridge University, and we have over 100 years of experience in assessing English language. What we do is we help the world to learn and communicate in English in more effective way, and we deliver more than 50 million exams since the very beginning of our operation in 1913. So we're quite young. Yes, because the press, the Cambridge University Press, they started like in 1500 and I don't know what. So they are from the Middle Age and we are from the modern age, okay? Yeah. So our commitment is to deliver excellence, educational excellence and positive impact into the classroom. So if you deliver exams of Cambridge in your schools, what you're taking to your students is high quality exams and a positive impact, which is what we really want. We work very hard to improve every day, not only our examinations, but the way in which we report results. So I'm going to talk about the improvements that we've done in result reporting at the end of this presentation. Also, we try to deliver each of our examinations according to international quality standards. So regulations are pretty strict, right? And what we do is we try to ensure, we work very hard to ensure that every system and every process meets those international standards. We also share, and perhaps you've seen this in our website, we also share every research we do. There's a section in the upper part, in the upper menu of our website, where you can go for research, and you will find every research that we've done, and you can download them for free. Our exams open you doors to higher education, opens your door to better employment. And the reason for the recognition of our exams is because every one of our exams have the same level of quality. Over 2,000 organizations worldwide accept our examinations. From those, 1,000 are higher and further education institutions, 6,000 are corporate users, and 500 are governments and ministries from 80 countries. What I would like to point out at this point is that our level-based exams, by level I mean our exams that are A1, our exams that are A2, our exams that are B2, yes? Level-based exams. Our level-based exams are assessing you very deeply in targeted tasks. And we maintain the position that if you pass one of our level-based exams, that English will remain with you for a long time. And this is why we say that our exams do not expire. However, institutions that recognize our examinations can decide for how long they want to accept them. So you will find universities saying things like, no, we accept the exams only if they are 2 years old, things like that. That sadly depends on the universities that are accepting our exams. But as John read in my biodata, he said that I hold an MBA from Universidad de Barcelona. Universidad de Barcelona is listed within the 100 best universities in the world. And they accepted my CAE, my advanced, that I took in 2003, and they accepted it in 2013. So 10 years later. And they said anything about time, because they know that our exams do not expire. Okay, so that will depend on the organization, just for you to know. Over 5 million students do take our level-based exams. We also have some multi-level exams, such as IELTS. We are co-owners of IELTS, and we write the exams for IELTS. And over 8 million followers in our social media channels. Have you checked our YouTube channel? I recommend it. You will find in our YouTube channel, you will find for free speaking exams, samples of speaking exams. Check it. We are in over 130 countries, 52,000 registered schools, which we call preparation centers. Are you all teachers of schools? If you're teaching in a school, please raise your hand. Fantastic. If you decide to incorporate exams, Cambridge English exams, into your curriculum, you will be part of these preparation centers. And you will be in our database, and you will receive constant information and constant updates about things that are changing, etc. Okay? 2,700 are authorized centers, and 30,000 are trained speaking examiners. And now we are in our subject of the presentation. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to discuss with your partner. Is listening to a conference on biogenetics and responding to multiple choice questions a good task to assess students of secondary schools level B1? Again, listen carefully, huh? Is listening to a conference on biogenetics and responding to multiple choice questions a good task to assess students of secondary school level B1? Please discuss. I'm giving you a couple of minutes. Task. Raise your hand. No one? Okay, one. Great. Thank you. And who says this task? Only one? No. You have to vote. This is not regular elections where you can vote no. No. Again. Can you hear me? Yes? Yeah. Okay. So again, who says that this is a good task? One person. Who says this is not a good task? Aha, all right. So first, let's listen to the person that says yes.
Well, in my opinion, I agree with the proposal, depending on the level of the student. Let's suppose the students are studying at secondary school, grade 5th grade or 4th grade. It's important for that student because that students are going to prepare to enter the university, now 5th grade or 4th grade. So for that group, it's important. So I agree partially. I partially agree. Okay, partially, not totally. Thanks.
Okay, interesting point of view, right? Okay, someone who says no, please. Okay.
Good afternoon to everybody. Well, I don't agree because the task should be according to their ages. If we are talking about students of secondary, for me biogenetics is not suitable. It has to be another topic, I guess. It's my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, any other opinion? All right.
I don't agree with that task because I think it's a complex subject. Students don't know much about biogenetics. For example, about domains of cloning, they don't know much about it. So it's very complex.
Okay, so we have different opinions here. And as you can see, it's a matter of opinion. But what is important here? I'm sorry, your name?
Mine?
Yes.
Carlos.
Carlos was pointing out something that is important. Not every school, of course, but there are some schools that prepare students for university life. And if they are schools for sciences, such as, I don't know, I'm just going to name one. Perhaps I'm mistaken, but I'm going to name one. Let's say Trilce. Yeah. Trilce is a school where you want your students to be prepared for the university, right? This is why you take your children to Trilce, because you want this child to be ready for the university. If you talk to the child about biogenetics, is it okay or not? Yeah, probably it's okay. Probably it's okay. The problem here is the level of English, because this is a group that is B1. This is a group that is B1. So if they are B1, complex matters are not a good task. So perhaps the age, perhaps secondary, perhaps that's fine, depending on the school. However, the level is indicating something, okay? So when I want to check validity in an assessment, which is something that is important, when we want to check validity, we have to look for the purpose of the test, the test takers, the test construct, the test tasks, the test reliability, and the test impact. So these are the key issues to look for when we're looking for validity in any exam. And we're going to go over these one by one. Purpose. This means, why am I testing? Purposes for taking an exam. Placement? Any other? End of the unit? Yes. Any other? Yeah, evaluation, but what kind of evaluation? Progress evaluation? Yes, that can be one. Any other? Consolidation? Any other? Diagnostic placement? Yes. Any other? Final test? What about international certificates? So there are exams for every purpose. It's not the same an exam for a placement that an exam for entrance or a progress or end of unit or certificate. They are quite different. Perhaps an end of the unit will be on the subjects and the matters in the unit. And perhaps a placement is going to be a multi-level exam just to check where you are according to your level. Yeah, different. So, just to be sure that we are in the same tune, can I use a placement as an end of a unit exam? No, because it's not adequate. Okay? The test takers. Who am I testing? What ideas do you have on this? Adults, kids, teenagers, teachers, doctors, professionals in general. Yes, and it's different. Can I use a test that is very basic, let's say an A2 exam, an exam for A2, that I prepared for 5th grade of secondary, and I go and I take it for 5th grade of primary? No, why not? It's level A2. Why not? Again. So we've just said that it's different to take a test to a teenager than take a test to a kid. And I'm saying, what about preparing an exam for 5th graders of secondary, level A2, very basic, level A2, and then go with this exam to 5th grade of primary? Can I use the same test? Why not? Different ages? What's the problem with that? The level is A2. I already said that they are all A2.
The topics are different for teenagers and for children, for little kids.
The topics might be a problem. The topics might be a problem, but not the level of English, because we already know that they are both A2.
Kind of questions. For example, I have a book with it's different the kind of question that we could make for teenagers, to children. Is the same level, because the level is the same, no? But the kind of questions change.
Yes, you're right. Perhaps if it's an exam for kids, I'm going to have lots of drawings, and it's going to be colorful, and it's going to be like playing. And if it's for 5th graders or secondary, perhaps it's going to be more serious. Yes? Okay, great, fantastic. So yes, we have to think of the test taker, primary kids or secondary students or adults or lawyers or doctors or etc., etc., etc. The construct, and here I want to be very specific, and I'm not going to explain, I'm sorry, I'm not going to ask you, I'm going to directly explain. Speaking test. Imagine a situation where you are going to be assessed in speaking, you, teachers. And you get to the exam, and the examiner asks you something like, how do you see your professional life in 10 years? And you have to think. You have to imagine at this very moment. What is this examiner really assessing? Is he assessing your speaking? It's confusing, right? Because he is also assessing your professional development, your professional hopes, your imagination. So it's not very clear. However, think of a speaking exam for your students. You give them the prompt. You give them either the story in cartoons, or you give them the prompt. And then they speak on what? On whatever you prompt them. They don't have to imagine. This is what I'm talking about when I say construct. So if you're testing skimming, you should be testing skimming, not extended reading. Right? Do you follow me? Great. So, communicative ability, or pronunciation, or fluency, or grammatical knowledge, or use of grammatical knowledge. Let's say that I'm testing pronunciation. Pronunciation is what? Is speaking or reading? Speaking. Pronunciation is speaking. But can I use reading a piece of text aloud as a task? Yes, because I'm reading. When I'm reading aloud, I'm pronouncing. So despite I'm not assessing reading, it's a good task yet, because what I want to test is pronunciation. And intonation, probably. Yes? Are you with me? Do you agree with me? Great. Now the task. Can you think of some tasks? I help you. Multiple choice? Other kind of task? Matching, completing. Okay, so for that we have lots of ideas. For example, we can use multiple choice for grammar and vocabulary, or a short email for writing, or a face-to-face interview for speaking. Yes? Are there many others? Yes, of course there are many others. These are just examples. Reliability. Reliability deals with how I am scoring. Hi. And this is very important. I have to know how I am going to score. Correct or incorrect, or what is going to be my assessment criteria, or if I'm going to use trained examiners. And whatever I decide, is that only for me to keep? Or should my students know? Yes, my students should know. I have to explain them how I am going to correct. They have to know. For instance, in your YLE exams, in your exams for young learners, do you know that spelling counts? Yes, spelling counts. And your students, do they have to know? Yes, they have to know. Why spelling counts? Because part of knowing a word is knowing how to write it. Evident. Yes? And so on. You have to explain that to your students always. Because if not, then they won't trust you. Ah, no, today the teacher corrects like this, and tomorrow she corrects like that. So you become not reliable. Yes? The impact. And what we want here is formative feedback, always formative feedback. We also want assessment of the 4 skills. Because if we don't assess the 4 skills, we don't know how our students are progressing in learning, in communication abilities. And we have to do the best that we can to give them authentic tasks. Is that always possible? No, not always. But we have to try. Okay? We have to try. So finally, 6 questions. Why am I testing? What is that? Purpose. Who am I testing? Test takers. What am I testing? Construct. What am I testing? Construct. How am I testing? The tasks, yes. How am I scoring? Reliability. Reliability. And how is my test going to benefit my learners? That's the impact. Okay? So these are the 6 key questions that I have to ask myself whenever I prepare an exam. Always. These are the 6 key questions. So, validity. Validity claims to be measured, is test measuring what it claims to be measuring. A test is never just valid. It's valid for a purpose. Fitness for purpose. So, I want to stop here and want to talk about our exams, Cambridge English exams. So you know we have PET and PET for schools. We have CET and CET for schools. We have FC and FC for schools. Why we have that? Validity. Validity. Is it valid to ask a kid, a 12-year-old kid, you're going to take your wife and your kids for a picnic to the river? Is it valid? No, because the kid does not have a wife, does not have kids, he doesn't know about that. But if you change the topic and you ask them something like, you're going to take your classmates to a picnic to the river. So that is because we think of validity. So whenever you choose an exam for your schools, for primary, always young learners. And for secondary, always the for schools version. Yes? Great. Sorry. I'm lost. No. Okay. So, this is the second part of the presentation, and what we're going to do is we're going to check listening now. Only listening. Only assessment of listening. So first thing, we're going to check assessment of listening and the framework. What framework? The Common European Framework of Reference of Languages. Okay. Then we're going to check what is underlying the listening. Then we're going to check some text types and some skills and how we assess them. And then, if possible, we're going to go over some practical ideas, okay? The Common European Framework of Reference, and what I need you is, in your groups, try to read. I know the letter is very small, I'm sorry about that, but do an effort and try to find the skills, the listening skills that we usually assess, okay? Please, with your groups, couple of minutes, only a couple of minutes. Find the skills, the listening skills for assessment. Find the constructs. What do we assess? Okay, any ideas? Any ideas? Any ideas? No, I found one already. When they say here, extended speech, what is that? That's short listening or extended listening? I found one, extended listening for advanced. Any other? Please check, check, check. What? I heard something.
Listening to
Closer to the microphone.
okay. B2, they can understand main ideas.
Okay, so we have listening to main ideas. Any other?
Identify both general message and specific.
Fantastic. Identify both general message and specific information. Two important listening skills. Yes? So, if we check the framework, we will find the different aspects of listening that we have to assess, and we will find also when we should be assessing them. Like, if it's B1, it should be on familiar matters or everyday job-related topics. So if we check in the framework, we will find the general aspects of what we should be assessing. So listening skills, listening for the gist, listening for specific details or main points, listening to understand an opinion, and that's going to be when. When my students are going to listen to opinions? When they are A? No, definitely no, not A. When they are B? Probably, what B? B2, yes, B2. Listening to follow an argument, that's when? B2, yes, when they are B2. Listening to infer something not directly stated. When is that? When? C, it's C. And usually it's C2. Usually it's C2. Of course, if we have some talented students, they will do it before that. But we're going to assess that specifically when they are C2. Okay? Great. Formats. Multiple choice, matching, note-taking, true, false. Can I use any task to assess any of the skills? I'm going to go back. Think of the formats, and I'm going to go back. Can I use multiple choice for listening for gist? Yes. And for listening for specific details? Yes. And for understanding an opinion? Yes, because I can state like 3 opinions and say, decide which is the opinion, the right opinion. And for following an argument? Not so sure, but maybe yes. And for inferring something that is not directly stated? Yes, because I write down 3 options of inferrations and they have to choose, right? Matching, same thing. Can I use matching for any aspect? Yes, yes, mostly yes. Can I use gap filling for everything? Mostly for information. Mostly we use it for specific information. Mostly, but in general we can say yes. And true or false? Okay. Let's check some tasks. Type of task, multiple choice. I'm giving you two examples here. Please discuss with your partner what is similar, what is different, and why. Please, if you are alone, find a friend. What is similar, what is different, and why? Okay, any ideas over here? Any ideas? Do we have any ideas? Any ideas? Any ideas? Do we have any ideas? Are they similar? They have to have something in common. They are both multiple choice. Come on, guys. What is common? What do they have in common? Yeah, both questions are multiple choice. How many options? 3 options. That's similar. That's similar. The 3 are films. In the first one, yes, because the question is about films, and the 3 options are names of films. However, in number 2, it's different. So, is one more difficult than the other? Are you sure? Because both are multiple choice. Is one more difficult than the other? Yes or no? Yes. But they are both multiple choice. Is one more difficult than the other? Yes. Yes. The answer is yes. And why? Because first one is testing what skill? What kind of information is that? Specific information. And number two, what is number two? Testing. Inferration. Students have to infer. How is this person feeling? They don't know, they have to infer it from what they listen to. So first one can be of a, yeah, it's from an exam A2. And the second one, it's from a C2. Yes, you're correct. It's from a C2. Aha, note-taking tasks. Same question for you. Please discuss. Are they different? Are they similar? And if they are similar, why? And if they're different, why? Is one more difficult than the other? Please discuss. Okay, are they similar or different? But they are similar, yes, in format. In format. In format. You have to take notes while you listen. This is why it's also called note-taking or gap filling. And you have to fill in the gaps. How many gaps in number one? 3. And in the other one? Aha, so probably the second one is more easy. Is it easier? Ah, no. So they are different then in level. In level, they are different in level. What skill is number one testing? Specific information, level. B1, yes, it's a B1 question. It's a B1 question because the quality of the information is very, very, very specific. Yes? The second one. What is this testing? Again, is testing specific information. Again. But, so they are both testing specific information. Why are they different? Why? Why? Why are they different? The level, but why? Why? Probably this number 2 is part of an extended listening. And what about the topic? Is it my daily life? Is it my job related? Unless you're a scientific and you work in volcanoes, it's not related to your life, right? So it's probably something very abstract. So what level is that? C? C1 minimum. C1 minimum. Yes? C1 minimum. I did something wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, I have here matching tasks. You have to match. Are they similar or are they different? In the first one, you have to match people and presents. So we have parents, brother, sister, aunt, and cousin, and we have belt, book, CD, chocolate, computer game, football, money, and a sweater. What level do you think that is? Probably A. Probably A. A1 or A2, yes? And the other one, you have to match the reason that each person gives for changing jobs. The reason for changing jobs. And you have speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, and you have the reasons. Unfriendly colleagues, poor holiday entitlement, lacking of a sense of purpose, needing more of a challenge, the workload. What is that? No, it's a big two, but yes, it's different. So we still can do matching and we can play with the levels, okay? Please check the format because it's quite flexible, really. Now, we're going to do something different. And this is a prompt. The prompt that you give your students. In this case, the prompt is, you will hear a young man called Sam Conti telling a group of students about his job as a specialist chocolate maker. Sam Conti. You're going to listen to Sam Conti. What do you think Sam Conti is going to talk about? Please work with your partner. What is Sam Conti going to talk about? About his job, yes. What else? About how he prepares chocolate. Any other? Ingredients, recipes. Money, yes, because whenever you start a business, what do you want? Earn money. If not, you close your business, right? Of course, money. Probably, yes. Okay, so what am I doing with you? What? Prediction. We are predicting. Prediction. Sam uses a where he keeps a record of all his recipes. What? A CD, a notebook. Any other? A recorder, a diary, a flash drive. What if he's ancient, like me, and he uses a box? Could be, right? Yes. Options. What are we doing here? Predicting again. And what kind of word is it going to be? A verb? How do you know? Because of the article. So not only predicting, but also teaching your students that after an article, a name is coming. Okay. Sam says he gets his most original ideas while he is inspired. Any other? Yes, you were laughing. Yes. Your proposal, what is it? While he is eating, yeah, why not? While he's dreaming, cooking, sleeping, eating. So, can it be a place, like, just to be funny while he is in the toilet? Could it be? No, why not? Because I don't have the preposition of place. I don't have the preposition of place. So I have a to be verb. Yes? After that kind of verb, what do I have? An ing verb or you said while he is inspired. What is inspired? Adjective. So either is it an adjective or an ing verb. What are we doing again? Predicting. Okay. Before becoming a chocolate maker, some chose as his subject of study. He chose what? What? Yeah, we're looking for a name. A name of what? He chose what? A different career? Yes, perhaps. Perhaps before becoming a chocolate maker, he chose what? Medicine or accountancy or English teaching or this and that. And we go for names of what? Careers. Yes? Yes? What are we doing again? Predicting. Always predicting. Please do this with your students. It helps them a lot. So, reasons for prediction activities. It helps candidates to engage with the task content before they have to listen. It helps them pick out the relevant information when they're listening to the recording. And it also helps them to check their answers to ensure that what they've written down is the correct answer and fits grammatically and logically into the gap. So when we do prediction, we have to think of both logic and grammar. Yes? How to help them? Show instructions first. Then ask them questions about what they're going to hear. Then show them the task, as we've done a moment ago. Show them the task, help them to try identify what part of the speech is going to be in the gap, and then make them guess. If they guess, they're like aware of what is coming, okay? So, before becoming a chocolate maker, some chose as his subject of study. We already said that we're looking for a different career. Before I became a chocolate maker, I chose as my subject of study. I chose as my subject of study. What happened here? What is different? One is indirect speech and the other is direct speech. I change it, I transform it. Why? Because who is speaking the recording? Sam Conti. So he's going to speak in first person, he's not going to speak in third person. This is why I change it. That's the recording, that's the extract. People often ask how I got into this business. Well, my parents wanted me to have a steady job, and they suggested studying something like medicine at university, because they thought a job in that area would pay well, or even economics, but at the time I thought law might open more doors, so that's what I did. So what's the right response? Economics? Medicine? Who says medicine? Who says economics? Who says law? Okay, law is the correct answer. Law is the correct answer. Please check that usually correct answers come at the very end of each paragraph. I don't know why, but this is how it is. Okay. So remember I changed from third person to first person? This is called paraphrasing. So if we want to do some paraphrasing, we can do some games and activities. Here are some of them, like playing snaps, or matching sentences, or getting your students to produce their own dialogues. Now, we're going to listen to Lucy. And this is the prompt. You will hear a woman called Lucy talking on the radio about a new magazine. So, what is Lucy going to talk about? A new magazine, but what do you think she's going to describe? Perhaps she's talking about fashion. Tips, some tips, perhaps. Makeup tips, Famous people, why not? Celebrities, What about the process of starting the magazine? Could that be also one of the subjects? We don't know, perhaps, because she's talking about a new magazine. Perhaps she's not talking about the topics in the magazine, but how the magazine started. Yes? Could that be a possibility? Yes. Any other possibilities? The cost, that could be one, yes. How much did it cost to start the magazine? Any other possibilities? The writers, how difficult or how easy it was to find writers for the articles in the magazine. So, what are we doing again? Prediction. And I was giving you ideas, right? Can the teacher do that? Yes, of course. Yes, of course. What is Lucy's main reason for starting a new magazine? That's question number 1. What is Lucy's main reason for starting a new magazine? Can we think of reasons for starting a new magazine? Any reasons, possible reasons? She wanted to earn her own money, probably. Probably she was working for a different magazine and she wanted her own money. She studied to become an editor or to become a publisher, and she wanted to start her own business. Any other?
Perhaps to share her ideas or share her experiences.
Yeah, perhaps she had something to say. So she wanted to start a magazine to say what she wanted. Any other ideas?
She wants to be her own boss.
Aha! What about that? She wanted to be her own boss. Yes, why not? Why not? That could be. Yes? Okay. I'm so sorry. So the extract from the listening. I'm Lucy Holmes, and I'm here today to tell you about my work. People ask me why I decided to start a new magazine. Well, I've been a journalist for many years, working for newspapers and magazines in this country and abroad. I've always dreamt of starting my own magazine, not because I want to be rich, but because I want to do something different. And now I've done it. It is different from other magazines, and I'm sure it's going to be successful. So why Lucy wanted to start her own magazine?
She wants to do something different. She wants to do something different.
We don't know, we're checking, yeah? She wants to do something different, could be one option. Any other options? Because she wants to do something different. Could that be the option? Yes, why not? Any other option? It was her dream. What about that one? It was her dream. She's been dreaming of starting her own magazine for a long time. Could be, right? Any other? She wants to be her own boss. Okay, let's check. She wants to manage her own time. Yes, probably. Why not? That's the correct answer. It was her dream. It was her dream. But how do I know that? It's because I'm very smart? No, it's because the first thing that we had to do was to check the complete task. If we had checked the complete task before listening, we would have known from the very beginning that that was the right option, because we have the options there. What is Lucy's main reason for starting a new magazine? She was asked to do it. She wanted more writing experience. She wanted to produce her own magazine. So what's the right answer? Let you see, she always dreamt of starting her own magazine. So always. Prediction, checking the prompt with your students, checking the grammar, checking the logics, and reading the full tasks. And then, listen. Please teach them that. It's very, very useful when we're doing listening assessment, okay? Here are some useful classroom activities, but I think we don't have much time, so I'm going to pass this. I know that you are all teachers and you have all brilliant ideas. And I'm going to get here to explain one more time about results. Remember I told you that there were going to be some changes to results? One of the changes that we're looking for is to change the way we report young learners. At the moment we are reporting with shields. How many shields is the maximum? How many? How many shields is the maximum? How many? 15. I have 5 shields for reading and writing, 5 for listening, and 5 for speaking. So, what is the maximum shields that I can get? 15. Great. Every student receives a certificate? Yes, every student receives a certificate. So, this means that every student passes? Are you sure? Because if I get a certificate, but I get a certificate. What is the pass mark? If I get 11 shields or more, then I was ready for the level. If I get 10 shields or less, it means that I was not quite ready for the level. Okay? And meaning that I'm not quite level for the level might mean things like, I know a lot of English, but I can't write. Or I know a lot of English, but I can't listen very well. Or I don't understand what I listen to. It might mean different things. Okay, so you have to be very aware of what's happening with your students. The main suite certificate. Now we have not only the grade, not only the level according to the Common European Framework of Reference of the Languages, but also we have now scores. Those scores are based on what we call the Cambridge English Language Scale. This scale, what does is enhances the specification of the results. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. Here's the scale. Here's the scale.